Hello Internet, and welcome to the very first episode of Transformation Thursdays, the follow-up of Tinker Tuesdays. So, if you watched the last Tinker Tuesday episode, you would have seen that we made snowflakes and incorporated that into a Snow Queen crown or headpiece. So today, we're going to transform ourselves into a Snow Queen. Before we start, just a disclaimer, I am not a professional makeup artist. Everything I learned about makeup, I learned from doing my own makeup for stage shows and watching a lot of YouTube videos. It'll probably be a good idea for me to take off the makeup I already have on and start with a fresh face, so I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back. I started out with one of Snazaroo's water-based mini face paint palettes and took the white from that palette and dabbed it all over my face with a face paint sponge. You can also use the tiny sponge that comes with the palette. The goal with this makeup is for my Snow Queen to look like she's made out of ice, and the dabbing motion helps blend out the white face paint. I'm wearing a pair of white contacts from uniqso, but if you don't own contacts, I'll show you another way to rock this look later on in the video. Then I used this blue shade from NYX's Ultimate Palette in Brights and used a fluffy brush to give myself a thin, sharp contour. I went in under my cheekbones, along my hairline, and along my jawline. And then I went ahead and brought the white paint down onto my neck and across my shoulders. And then took that same contour color and brought it down my neck and across my collarbones. I also went ahead and put some white paint on my lips to lighten them up. I then decided to put some of that color along my bottom lip and bring it down from my eyebrows along the sides of my nose. I then took my finger and applied some of that color onto my eyelids and along the bottom of my eye. Don't be afraid to just smudge this out because this is not going to be a sharp, precise look. Then I took this lighter teal shade from the same palette and went over everything I just did just to blend it out more and give it a bit more color. Because I wasn't planning on wearing lipstick for this look, I then took some of the darkest blue from this NYX palette and used my fingers and just dabbed it onto the center of my lips. Next, I took my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and lined along my waterline, tight-lined my upper eyelid, lightened my eyelashes, and smudged some of it across my eyelid as well. I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm doing here. This is the first time I'm filming this kind of video and I hadn't even realized I wasn't in frame. Sorry guys! It was around this time that I realized that I forgot to block out my eyebrows like I originally planned, so I went ahead and took the eye pencil and just put it all over my eyebrows. This is basically what happens when eyebrows aren't a part of your regular makeup routine. You forget that sometimes you have to actually do something to them. I didn't want to wear falsies for this look, so I took my eyelash primer and went ahead and put that on my eyelashes to lengthen them a bit more. If you have white fake eyelashes, go ahead and use them. If you have actual white mascara, you can use that too. Next, I grabbed my Alchemist Holographic highlighter palette from Kat Von D and took the Sapphire shade and put that all over my face. Go crazy with this and use as much highlighter as you want. The goal here is to look like a giant ice cube. Next, I took the Amethyst shade from the same palette and put that over everything I had contoured previously. Basically, just go over all the blue you put on your face before. Now for some snowflakes! I was originally going to make this out of latex, but hot glue has quite a bit of give to it anyway, so it's quite flexible. Once you've decided where you're going to place your snowflakes, go ahead and grab whatever makeup grade adhesive you have. I'm using Prose Aid 2, and pouring a little bit out into a disposable cup. And using a tiny brush to paint onto my snowflake. Once the glue turns clear and tacky, you're ready to stick that snowflake on. Now it was time for me to embrace my inner ice cube. I reached for some rock sugar and basically adhered it to my face wherever I thought I needed to look frosty and icy using the Prose aid I used before. This is where blocking out my eyebrows earlier would have come in handy. The rock sugar was a bit too heavy for my eyebrow hairs, so it kept threatening to fall off my face. If you're struggling with the same thing I did, you've got two options. You can either crush your rock sugar to smaller pieces or skip your eyebrows completely and just focus on putting more icy bits on the rest of your body. When you're done, set everything with a setting spray. And this is what I ended up with. If you don't have white contacts or a blonde wig, here's how you can style this makeup using your own hair instead. I went back to my Snazaroo mini face paint palette and took the white and put that all over my hair. This actually works better with white grease paint or clown paint, so if you have that, go ahead and smudge that into your hair. You can either wear your hair down and slicked back or put it into a low bun like I did. It's your choice really. Next, I took the blue from the same mini face paint palette and put that into my hair and smudged it down into my hairline. Basically, just keep on layering the white and blue until you're happy with how it looks. Because you'll be able to see my ears in this version of the look, I went ahead and dabbed some of that blue on the tips of my ears, and then took the same glue I used to contour and went in and highlighted the creases and hollows in my ear. When you're done, you should have something that looks like this. My phone freaked out and deleted the rest of this video. But basically, when it comes time to take off your makeup, especially your prosthetics, you don't want to just rip that off. You could end up breaking skin. I used Dissolve, which is a medical grade plaster remover I found at Guardian. You can use isopropyl alcohol or isopropyl myristate, but please, please, please do not use nail polish remover, even though some websites claim you can do that, because the acetone in that is just gonna damage your skin. I poured out a small amount of the Dissolve into a disposable cup, and then using a flat makeup brush, I went in and basically found any loose corners I could find on my snowflake prosthetic and slowly worked that plaster remover under my snowflake. It might be hard to find a loose edge to begin with, but it helps to wiggle your body or make faces depending on where you've stuck your snowflake to help loosen the prosthetic. And that's how I made my snow queen. If you like this video, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and hit the little notification bell, even though I hear it doesn't always work, but do it anyway, you don't know, it might work this time. Please do leave a comment if you like this video. Leave a comment if you don't like this video. Any constructive criticism would really help. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!